Welcome to the Biz Doctor Podcast, my love letter to business owners the world over. I'm your host, Lauren Goldstein, award-winning business consultant and advisor fondly nicknamed the Biz Doctor by my clients. I help business owners who are burning the candle at both ends diagnose what is actually keeping them buried in the day-to-day busy work, and then formulate a treatment plan to adjust their business and team to fit them, so they can take a breath and a vacation and have more fun making a bigger impact than ever. So grab your favorite beverage and your earbuds, and let's dive into our latest episode. We've all been there. You did your best in hiring, said yes to someone, only for it to turn into a Hindenburg situation. The truth is because we're dealing with humans, not robots. Sorry, Elon. There are variables with hiring that, try as we might, still make it a bit of a moving target. But fear not, today I'm going to dive into the real cost of a bad hire, and more importantly, how you can reduce those costs and make your next hire your best hire. Welcome back to the Biz Doctor Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Goldstein, and today I want to talk about a hot topic I see a lot of my clients and fellow business owners struggle with, which is shifting from reactive to proactive hiring, so that they can reduce the cost and mitigate the risk of a bad hire. So first, I want to start with some statistics that honestly make me want to vomit. Did you know that 30%, that's the percentage of employees' first-year pay that is lost in a bad hire? In round numbers, that means for a $100,000 employee, that is $30,000 you just lit on fire. 46%, that is the percentage of all new hires that are deemed failures by the 18-month mark. Almost 50%, which is so upsetting. 14,900. That's the average revenue loss for 74% of companies that have made a bad hire. So if we're tallying that 30,000 in wasted money and that 15,000 rounding up here in lost revenue, dollars are starting to get more and more significant. In my humble opinion, I think this number is much higher, which is what I'm going to talk about here in a second. 16.25. That's the amount of hours per week of lost productivity. This isn't across the board, guys. This is per employee. I don't even want to do the math there. And last but not least, I'm going to round us out with a happy metric, 82%. This is the percentage increase in retention and success with a strong onboarding process. In fact, a great onboarding experience ensures 69% of employees stick with a company for 3 years or more and will improve productivity by 70%. Those are some stacked numbers in your favor, which kind of makes you ask yourself, how good is your onboarding process? Because I will tell you the numbers on that are not good. 1 out of 3 companies either have no standard onboarding process or rated their onboarding process as poor to average, and the employees did the same. So let's dig a little deeper into these numbers and how to prevent them, shall we? First, I want to address the revenue lost. While that 30% and 14.9 are relatively sizable chunks, the biggest cost I see that we don't think about is your time and the team's time. Think about it this way. It takes an average of 100 person hours to make a good hire. This is the time that you proactively spend to get clarity on the role. By the way, this is not the norm in most businesses, but it is if you are one of my clients and or know about our scorecards. So you're in the top 1%. Putting together the job description, posting it, sifting through applicants, interviewing, then onboarding and training, all the things. Within that process, 2, 3, 4, or even more people might touch this process. So when you add up all their time away from working on the business, yours especially, that price tag climbs and climbs. So a quick recap. We got the dollar signs in front of the money we paid out to their wages while they were at the company. We've got the lost revenue from the business. We have everyone else's time that was involved. When you look at the minus column, that's a lot of losses. So how do we reduce that cost? The best way to do this is to look at your hiring process and make it more efficient and effective. And here's how. Efficiency. If you're like most, your process goes a little something like this when hiring. You decide on a Tuesday that you'd like to hire this role. So you cobble together a job description from some previous roles, add in the tech pieces they should know, and then post it on Indeed. Then you go through resumes to see who you want to bring in. It's hit or miss and inconsistent at best. Then you do a phone screen. Then you filter out more to bring them in for a one-on-one. And then maybe you and other members of the team interview them. And then you try to pick between the top 3. This is the process for most companies, and it results in a 50-50 shot that the person you picked will be a good, successful hire, and here's why. It doesn't give you objective data, and it doesn't test them all along the process. So here are 2 things that you can do today with the next hire that will drastically save you time. And then I'm going to talk about another thing that will save you oodles of time and money. First, Easter eggs. I'm not talking about cute eggs filled with candy and coins here. I'm talking about a request that is hidden in plain sight in the job post that helps you filter out candidates. For us, it is always a cover letter answering a few questions and asking them to tell us why they're interested in this role. Why this is so helpful is because it allows you to cull applicants rapidly and also test their ability to problem solve and follow instructions. 2 key things in any role. This alone will save you hours of time. For us, no cover letter, no moving forward. Simple as that. Some other Easter eggs are send us an email with purple cow in the subject line. I had a client do that once. It was very funny. Anyway, you get the idea. Have fun with it. The second thing here is we never, and I mean never, bring someone in for a one-on-one without first getting to know them through a Loom. If you've not heard about Loom, and that's Loom with an L, not a Z as in Zoom, then buckle up because I'm about to give you $1 million trick. Loom is an amazing piece of software that allows you to video record yourself, your desktop, etc., and we use it across the company. I use it for feedback for the team on projects, support tickets, training for clients, trainings for the team, and you guessed it, interviews. It's simple. After they've successfully found the Easter egg, the next step is for them to send us a Loom answering a set of questions. We have a template that we use for every hire and just adjust a few questions specifically to the role. This tests out not only their problem solving, but it tests out their follow through, attention to detail, and my favorite, their personality. I've gotten some spicy replies telling me where to stick it with this quote unquote impersonal way of interviewing. But the truth is, this is actually the farthest thing from impersonal. It allows us to get to know them without booking out our whole week on people we are unsure of. I know this might make some of you listening a bit uneasy, but it shouldn't. The truth is, before I started doing this, I remember weeks of back-to-back interviews and my business suffering significantly because I just didn't have enough time to do all the things. And honestly, the worst thing was when I would get on an interview and immediately realize that this person was not a fit. I know you've been there. The pain of regret knowing I wasted both of our time is the worst. So this process removes all of that. Now I know exactly who I want to bring in and what to expect so that we can make the most of our time and decide if it is a mutual fit. Again, efficiency. This one change will quite literally cut your hiring time in half because you can review the Looms on 2x whenever you have the space in your schedule. Personally, I watch the first minute or so on normal to get a feel for them and then 2x. Or nowadays, Faith, my ops manager, will review them and then send along the ones that pass muster for me to review and sign off on before we bring them in. It is a well-oiled, magical machine that gives you back a significant amount of time and control. Before we dive into the next bit, I want to take a second to share with you something that I've seen drastically change businesses and teams for the better. Imagine waking up every morning with a team that knows exactly what is expected of them and how to achieve success without you having to micromanage them. Imagine how much time and dollars you will save by hiring the right team member from the start. Not to mention getting the most out of every current member of your team. That is what's possible with our tried and tested tool, the Golden Key Scorecard. The scorecard is a simple, impactful, and fillable tool for managing your team, ditching inefficiency, and I guarantee will help you stop playing whack-a-mole chasing team docs all over the place. It's as easy as filling out a form. If you want to get out from under your business, shifting from business operator to business owner, and take your business to the next level while reclaiming your time, then our Golden Key Scorecard is just the ticket. Our scorecard provides the time-tested framework and process to get you and your team out of the weeds and into a well-oiled machine that can scale without you. It's time for you to run your business instead of the other way around. Become an expert in this critical piece of the foundation to creating a high-performing team. Download the Golden Key Scorecard for free at goldenkeypartnership.com/go. Now back to the show. The third thing that will save you not only time and money is this: proactive hiring. If you can take a beat and get clear, and I mean really clear on why you're hiring, how they fit in the company, what traits they need to embody to be successful, and their accountability. By the way, all those fillable areas are in the Golden Key scorecard that I just mentioned, then you are 90% there. To drive this home, 23% of employees who quit within 6 months said that clear guidelines on their responsibilities would have helped them stay in their job. Y'all, I am telling you, this shift to proactive hiring with clarity will drastically change your team, your business, and your bottom line for the better. The last 10% is taking those areas from the scorecard and crafting a job description that does double duty. It attracts those A players you're looking for and rejects the people you don't want. Most often, I see business owners post job descriptions or posts that are like laundry lists. They are checklists of tasks and technology. This, my friends, is a rookie move. If you want to attract top talent, you get to craft a job description that is about the value of the role, how they're not just a cog, but an essential part of the team, the culture fit, the accountabilities, and what it would mean for their life goals to be part of the company and in this role. The last thing I will say, you also have to be an effective interviewer. It's great to get to know someone, but you have to know what to ask to dig deeper to really gauge their fit in our 4 main C's of a high-performing team: clarity, capacity, capability, and culture. For more on this, I encourage you to go listen to Season 1, Episode 9. That way you reduce the risk of a bad hire and also reducing what I call a Jekyll and Hyde hire. You know those people who make you go, who the heck is this? This is not the person that I interviewed. So if you want to avoid that, and you want a few of my favorite interview questions to really peel back those layers, go back and listen to another episode in Season 2, Episode 9, 6 of the most effective interview questions to help you pick the right candidate. One more thing before I wrap up. If you're not using some sort of personality test or survey, you're leaving money on the table, or in this case, probably throwing it down the drain. Everything I just shared is important. And it is also so incredibly helpful and effective to have another data point to decide. Our favorite tool we use with our clients is Wealth and Team Dynamics, which I will link in the show notes. You don't have to use the tests we use, but my best advice is find one you like, you understand, and which is mostly accurate. And I say mostly accurate because none are 100% accurate because, again, we're all human. And then use it consistently. So I know what I shared might seem like a lot of work, quote unquote, upfront, but trust me, when you do this upfront work, it will pay you massive returns on your time and money because you will no longer be wasting time or lighting money on fire with shot in the dark hires. And the most beautiful thing about all of this is once you get it, and you can do it on repeat, getting better and better each and every time, which means your profit margins will continue to expand. And who doesn't love that? That's it for this week's episode. Thanks so much for listening in. If anything I shared sparked something in you, we'd love for you to share this episode with your friends. Also, I'd love to hear from you. So let's connect. Tag or DM me on Instagram at It's Lauren Goldstein or LinkedIn or wherever you hang out on the interwebs. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you're the first to get notified when our next episode is live and ready for your ears. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time. Listening to the Biz Doctor Podcast. Now, I like to say that friends don't let friends WebMD your business. So if you're wondering what your next steps could be, here are some options for you. No matter what, head to the show notes or to my website, goldenkeypartnership.com, for some impactful resources to support you getting out from under your business. That's also where you'll find the links to learn more about our services and how we support business owners, just like you, who are ready to make the successful jump from business operator in the trenches to visionary business owner with more freedom and flexibility. All of that info is on our website, so pop on over to learn more or get in touch. goldenkeypartnership.com. Finally, if you love the Biz Doctor podcast, I'd be so grateful if you would share it with your friends and network and give us a 5-star rating or review wherever you listen to your podcast.
This is Story Studio Network.